almost hopelessness. And then gradually, the tone of the hymn, the song, heightens until the closing stanza becomes a burst of rapture and thankfulness. When reading the psalm, you will discover that David has the knack of singing his way out of trouble. Now, the specific crisis which caused the psalmist's distress is theologically difficult to pinpoint. But I am of the opinion that it may well be that David wrote and sung this psalm during the period, you may remember, when he was being hunted relentlessly by Saul for the kill. And David was literally afraid to rest, to sleep, to close his eyes, lest Saul would avenge, and he would never waken from his slumber. But whatever may have been the background to this psalm or song, it is clear propositionally that this is a lyric, a song which vividly expresses the struggles of his soul for deliverance. Have you ever been there? And so I really believe propositionally that this is a lyric, a song which expresses vividly the struggles of the soul for deliverance. In this connection, then, we will find in this text three things: the soul's agitation, the soul's supplication, and the soul's jubilation. The soul's agitation, the soul's supplication, and the soul's jubilation. In this song, which vividly expresses the struggles of the soul for deliverance, we see the soul's agitation. David sings the lyrics of 13:1, stanzas 1 and 2. He sings, "How long will you forget me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul? Having sorrow in my heart daily." 4 times in 2 stanzas, David asks the question, how long? How long? How long? the trial through which he was passing ushers David into a state of dread and depression. In a series of rhetorical questions designed to motivate God to answer his prayer, David asked God how long God would wait before answering him. In the words of this stanza, you see David being highly emotional. The question, how long, is unfinished because of David's intense frustration. You see, David, when you look at the original Hebrew language, David felt not only ignored by God, but David felt forgotten by God. And so he, in his frustration, in his point of the depression and dread, was simply asking, would this continue indefinitely? Wrestling inward in his soul, David lamented so much so that he spent every day in this distressing situation to the degree that his heart was filled with struggles and sorrow. Who was David talking to? David is talking to himself. He continues, how long will my enemy be exalted over me? David is literally locked in depression, overcome by the circumstances of his life. Now, much of this depression, however, is based on a wrong concept of God and his relationship with God. Can God forget David, much less forever? No. God could not forget David even if God wanted to, because God is an omniscient God. He is an all-knowing God. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, sometimes depression reveals a faulty concept of God. Had God really forgotten David? Was God literally and actually hiding from David? Of course not. David has a wrong concept of God, feeling that God has abandoned him to his enemy. David's wrong concept led him to an impossible warped thought. Victory over his enemies can happen without God's help. So no wonder he felt depressed. You see, all depressed persons wrestle with their own thoughts. But negative self-talk only fuels Satan's forces in the battle for our mind. Verse 21 had become so precious to her, for there Job wrote, and now men see not the bright light which is in the clouds, but the wind passeth and cleanseth them. She confessed. At first it was impossible to see the bright light in the clouds. But afterward I knew that all the heartache the Lord permitted to come into my life was for my own good. Now, because of my experience, I'm trying to help others see their rainbow. Listen, always look for your rainbow and recognize that the showers of trouble are sent for the cleansing of our agitated souls. Oh, I wish I had somebody up there. Yeah, instead of throwing a pity party, look for your rainbow and recognize that the showers of trouble are sent for the cleansing of our agitated souls. This psalm, which beautifully expresses the struggles of the soul for deliverance, see secondly, the soul's supplication. Say that with me, the soul's supplication. David sings the lyrics of stanzas 3 and 4. He sings, consider and hear me. Lighten my eyes. Let my enemies say, lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him. Listen. Agitation should lead us to supplication. You agitated? Well, let it lead you to supplication. In other words, here it is. Trouble will give power to prayer. Can I say that again? Trouble will give power to prayer. He says, consider and hear me, O Lord my God. David is making supplication